Our final Hall of Fame inductee this evening is Alex Martinez. He will be introduced by Neil Welburn.
I started to jump up on the stage like I was 19, and I figured out I couldn't do that. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce Alex Martinez tonight. I met Alex when he was 9 years old. He came to this country with his brother and sister, his mother and father. Started to discover soccer. Just a wonderful human being. You know, we thought as a board at one time that we would consider somebody to introduce, and considering someone to introduce Alex tonight. We thought about David Benson and Dom, but we checked with the hotel, and there's 100% occupancy here tonight, so we couldn't be here all night long. So I drew the short straw. Marshall Burns and Jackson Burns back here in the back rode 16 hours with me to Massachusetts to see that team win a national championship. A lot of good players on that team. I think everybody on that team played college soccer except for one young man. He kicked the football at Presbyterian College. Presbyterian University now. But when the game was over with, I distinctly remember nobody in this room understands, except maybe Dom and David, what an accomplishment it was to win that national championship. There were two South Carolina board members there, Mr. Bynum and Mr. Brantley. When the game was over with, those two men hugged each other and wept like babies. They had waited for 40 years for this to happen. And they wept like babies. It was such a huge, huge win for South Carolina soccer. They gave the trophies out. And of course the club got a trophy, and the state of South Carolina got a trophy. Well, weeks went by and we didn't know where you're going to put your hands in your face now. We didn't know where the South Carolina trophy was. So we showed up at the South Carolina board meeting, and Alex had had it in his bedroom for about 6 weeks. He knew the big day was coming. He had to give it up. He came up to Coach Wren. He said, "Coach, here's a trophy for the state of South Carolina." I think he really wanted to keep it, and he probably should have, because he was such an integral part of not only that national championship team, but the national championship team at Northwestern High School. Also, he was all ACC at NC State University. Went on to be drafted in the MLS, scored a goal in the MLS. He was released. The day he was released, he called me and he said, "I'm all right. Don't worry about me." And he is all right, and he's doing well. And he's now a coach himself, believe it or not. The guy that got more red and yellow cards than anybody else in York County over the years. I introduce to you Alex Martinez.
Alex, before you have your picture taken, you need to hold something else.
Oh. Is that from the other night? They don't know I'm not kidding. Just want to hold it. Yep.
8:24, does that mean I got 30 minutes? Yeah?
Minus 20.
First, I want to thank all the members for putting this amazing Hall of Fame together. It's an honor to be here. Congrats to all the other inductees. It's such deserving. I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but there's a lot of referees here, so you know I feel a little nervous. Good thing there's not a soccer ball around, so we're all right. But yeah, congrats to everybody. It'll be obviously very silly of me to come up here and think that I'm up here and I've done some cool things with soccer. It'll be very silly of me if I come up here and say it's because of me. So I want to thank, I have a list of people I want to thank because the small success that I've had and the reason why I'm here is nothing to do with me. It has to do with so many people that are here and other people that aren't here that put me in a spot to be successful. I want to start off by thanking 3 teachers of mine. Ms. Charles, she was my 5th grade teacher at Richmond Drive. Ms. Dobbins, who was the first teacher ever that was the one that taught me English. She'll be really proud. She's not any longer with us, but I know she's definitely be proud right now. And then Miss Parks, who was at Northwestern High School, who did so much for me and is the reason I am where I am today. So I want to thank them 3. And then go down as far as coaches. Troy Lassane, who's an independent assistant coach, taught me so much about life, about coaching, and I'm forever thankful for him. Kelly Finley, who was my coach at NC State, who gave me an amazing opportunity. I was also released by High Point University, so I forgot that one as well. And somehow I ended up at NC State and changed my life forever. So I'm forever thankful. And then obviously Coach Van Extenden here, who's sitting here, has definitely been the most influential person and coach I could have asked for. I always say he taught me a lot. We won a lot of things together. But I always ask, Stevie's here. Stevie, what's the best thing that Coach Van ever taught me? Yeah, that's right. The best thing Coach ever taught me is how to tie a soccer ball, and how to teach all the kids that, and I tell them that's probably the best thing I can teach you. But no, Coach, I just want to thank you so much. You know I am who I am today because of you, so thank you. And then personally, a lot of people, Mr. and Mrs. Ross, who aren't here, Neil Wellborn and Sheila, for everything they've done for me. 2 of my best friends, Fernando Santi, Osceola, I know Caesar's here as well. And obviously the families that came here to support me. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. So definitely wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for these people. And then I'll go kind of down probably the most father figure, important person in my life other than obviously my immediate family, Mr. Vincent and Miss Vincent. The most amazing and loving family that I've ever met in this country. Obviously, I came from Uruguay, 9 years old, but they absolutely did everything for Enzo and I to be successful and for my family. So I could never repay you and thank you enough, and I know that's not what you want, but any little time that I can say thank you, I sure will. So thank you, Miss B and Miss B, and I love you guys. And then obviously, my brother, everybody knows everything that Enzo has done, and I've been lucky enough to always be any shadow be behind him, which is good because then I have no pressure. You know, I have everything to win. But it's not about nothing to do with soccer, but he's one of the most amazing human beings. And I know I keep saying that, but that's just how I feel about the people that have been around me. And it's just such an amazing, other than soccer, such an amazing person. And probably if I wasn't following his shadow and being behind him, I'd probably never be where I am today. So I had something to kind of reach for. Yeah, such an influential person. And then the three most beautiful, amazing, important women in my life are all sitting in this table. My amazing wife, and now she's carrying our baby girl coming in January. To put up with me, it's not easy. To put up with my crazy soccer schedule, it's not easy, but you're so supportive and so loving, and I can't thank you enough. My sister, such loving, caring, supportive sister. If you ever see something on social media, she's definitely the first one that she puts it up. She's the quickest one to get to that, but she shows how much she loves me and my brother, and how supportive she is. Yeah, I want to thank you. And then, obviously, the most important person, my mom. What can I say? Basically, raised my brother, my sister, and I all by ourselves. Worked 2 to 3 jobs to give us all the necessity that we need for life. Put a roof, fed us, and came to this country. Basically, gave up everything she had for my brother and I to be successful. And I know now she can look back and be proud of everything we've done. So thank you. Te amo. I'm trying not to get too emotional. Lastly, I want to go off with a message. I don't want to take too much time, but obviously a lot of you guys knew I was born in Uruguay, grew up in Rock Hill. I'm extremely happy and honored to call myself and call this home for me. Rock Hill and the U.S. has given me everything that I have, from everything that I was able to accomplish with soccer, to obviously my wife, and the U.S. and Rock Hill has been amazing to us. But the reason why is because the people that live here, and I know not everybody's from Rock Hill, but from this area, I couldn't ask for a better place to grow up. A lot of people ask me how did I end up in Rock Hill. I have no idea either. So from Uruguay to Rock Hill. But what I love about this city and this place is very blue collar mentality. Put your head down and work, and that's kind of the way I grew up, and where I come from is very similar. I've been fortunate enough to play at the highest level, whether it was in the pros or in college. And it's the most important thing for kids and for players to know is that you can come from this area, you can have a lot, you can have a little, and still be able to make it as far as you want. But 3 things that I always refer to that made me accomplish a lot of things that I've always wanted to accomplish has been 3 things, and it's attitude. Regardless of what you go through. From college, I committed to play at UNC. 2 months before going to college, they called me and said they didn't want me anymore. But obviously, one of the most important things that taught me, and it kept happening. So it's my attitude to just bounce back and get back to what's next. The passion, and if anybody knows me closely, knows the passion that I have about life and about soccer, and that's something that's got me a long way. And then I think the most important thing is work ethic, and that comes from just my family, my background, and all the people around me. So I just want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to me, everybody that's here for being here, and everybody that's put this together. So thank you so much.